right, P&K fam, who's up? Long drive. So I figured I'd jump on YouTube here and see if anybody was up. Oh, it's right behind me. The old, we just filled up for like the 10th time. What is up, Roni? Sorry if I missed your name. I'm not. I can't read and drive at the same time. But yeah, we were coming through Wisconsin right now, so I figured I'd jump on and see if anybody wanted to hang out for a little bit. We're gonna continue the drive probably to just about daybreak, and then call it. The stream might drop out here and there or get a little fuzzy or whatever. Who cares? At least I'm back in an area with a signal. So it's a P&K road trip. Hop on board, peeps. Keep me awake. Because as long as I stay awake, then Paul stays awake behind me, and then we're all good to go. Actually, just got our second win. Screw that. Dude, South Dakota takes forever. Imagine Alabama being almost the same. Another thing we got to watch out for is not to smack a deer. No, my luck, hit a freaking buffalo. We were going to stop and get some shots of the moon because it was really clear a little bit ago. As you might be able to see it just up in the top of the screen there, but of course a hazy cloud came over top of it. But if it clears up again, I mean, it was really clear coming through Minnesota. And we were waiting for a rest area. By the time we got to the rest area, a freaking cloud came over. So it looks like it's starting to clear up again. So, what's going on, everybody? By the way, we didn't do the live stream last night because as soon as we stopped the daytime cam of Devil's Tower, the freaking clouds rolled in, and like it was heavy clouds, like you couldn't see anything. So we were like, screw it. And then we got a good night's sleep, and then so we could pack everything up in the morning and hit the road. But man, I cannot wait to get home and dive into those 3 UFOs that we filmed the other night. That's gonna be interesting. Well, hey, at least you guys get to watch the sunrise then. I mean, we're heading due east, and with a little bit of cloud cover that's up there, it should be a pretty one. Hopefully, and that's in hell. I don't even know what time it is. Like, I think I'm still in Central Time, so I think it's 3:45 in the morning here, or probably 4:45 in the morning on the East Coast. I don't know. My days are all screwed up. Not my days, I should say my hours. So yeah, we just filled up. So we're good for another 300 miles or so. Paul's using gas like crazy because he's pulling the RV. But this thing's not doing too bad. I just saw a wrench pop up, but I don't know who it was. They don't keep the chat on the screen for the YouTube Live app. They just, whenever, like every 10 seconds or something, they flash it on the screen. I see Genghis. Jenny, what are you doing up, girl? Didn't I just talk to you like... Oh, that probably was about 6 hours ago, wasn't it? We're still cruising. Yeah, when I talked, Jenny, when I talked to you, we were just getting into Minnesota. Now we're in Wisconsin. Like we literally just got into Wisconsin. But yeah, at least we'll get to see a sunrise. I think. Did you at least sleep at all? How long is a long drive? Well, put it this way, we've been on the road for 15 or 16 hours already. And I still have, let me check here. I still have 968 miles to go. But I think we're going to take a snooze break when we get right before Chicago. Gonna have to. Ain't no way I'm gonna be driving 24 hours straight. Screw that. I'm not really tired actually. As I said, it was because we didn't do that stream last night, or I guess it's last night now, night before. I don't know, whatever the last night was. We got really good sleep. Like I slept for 10 hours. And then we got up and packed everything up and hit the road. I gotta figure, I mean, we're heading back, you know, we covered 2 time zones. I'm still in the central time zone, I think. I think Chicago's in central. Or Wisconsin. Wherever the hell I am. It's very intimidating driving down these roads and just seeing mutilated deer all over the place. It's like, oh, look at that nice little meat bag laying all over the road. Until a tractor trailer got a hold of that one. You know I will, Jenny. For a while there, me and Paul were running side by side so we could use all 4 of our headlights together to make sure there's no deer jumping out the sides of the road and stuff. It was crazy. Freaking scary going freaking 80. The speed limit is 80 miles an hour, so we're running 80 miles an hour. Imagine if a deer jumped out in front of you at 80 miles an hour. Exactly. Let's jinx it. Seen something about abducted by aliens. Apples there. Cool. Yeah, I didn't know how many people would actually be up. But I figured, why not? That'll give me somebody to talk to. I know some of you are late nighters. Other you guys live across the pond and it's already noon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Somebody should be online out of the 26,000 of you. Yeah, I don't know. I can't believe Jenny's up. feels like I just talked to her and she was going to bed. So she's up already. I think she's in the same time zone as me right now. Jenny, you're usually only an hour behind, time-wise, right, from me? I think. Maybe you're 2 hours. I'm not sure. Beware of wind. Yeah, so we're in the same time zone right now. I think once I get past Chicago, then I jump into Eastern time. Holy crap, so that means when we were out at Devil's Tower, I was actually an hour behind you. Weird. I always thought of Texas as being mountain time for some reason. Texas is huge, though. Dude, I am nowhere near Area 51. I'm heading the complete opposite direction. But you know who could? Mark. Mark is in Arizona right now, doing the MUFON training thing, whatever he's doing. He could probably find a way out to Area 51. I think. Me, I'm headed home. Finally. Back to Pennsylvania. Me and Paul are going to split just south of Chicago, and then he's going to head south. He still has, he won't get home till, shit, I'm probably going to guess Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening sometime. Because he's got about 600 more miles than I do. Oh, 70 mile an hour speed limit right now. That's exactly what we're doing. Until I get past this truck. Like usually in the open fields, you don't have to worry about the deer. It's when you get next to like wooded areas. This guy's been cruising with us, seems like since Wyoming, this old Dominion truck here. I think he stops, gets fuel or whatever, and then we stop and we keep passing one another. I ought to slow down and let Paul pass me. He's got the neons on the RV. Looks badass. Yeah, the signal's not going to be perfect. Don't expect it to be. It'll probably drop out, and then it'll get pixelated, and then you might lose some audio, then it'll pop back again. I mean, it's mobile, you know? Looking for 1080p solid streaming on a highway in the middle of Wisconsin. Strangely out of luck. Yeah, let me see if I can put this camera up a little bit. You can kind of see the moon. There you go. There you go. We got it in the picture a little bit. I didn't catch what you said, Jenny. YouTube took it off the screen before I could read it. Oh, just making coffee. Cool. We were just at a UFO hotspot for the last 5 days. And we caught UFOs. How about that? So now I get to go home and edit the videos, isolating them all. Not to mention the tons and tons and tons of video I have from everywhere and everything. Yeah, we were broadcasting live from there all week. Wasn't a really good trip for like moon broadcast, but at least we were able to do the wide field of the tower. And that's when we caught the 3 UFOs that you couldn't see with your naked eye, but only the camera. And 2 split off, one direction straight up, and then they just disappeared. Yeah, definitely. We'll be back to our normal schedule now. Figure the moon's waning. Probably about. We got drone video. We got infrared video. I mean, just so much stuff to go through. It's going to take me a good couple days to get through it all. But the first things first, I got to isolate those UFOs and do a closer look at them. I didn't have my actual software there to actually go in depth with it. The only thing I can do is keep on replaying it because I had the laptop. But we'll figure out what they were. Because we were putting a laser on the on Devil's Tower, and that's like right after we did that. That's when it happened. And then, not to mention the fighter jets circling our heads for some reason. Out of nowhere, yesterday. We're sitting out there, a fighter jet comes in and just does a circle over our head and it takes off. Gotta figure that one out. Yeah, we don't have any helicopters chasing us anyway. Still got that cloud around the moon though. I forget how many miles Wisconsin is across. I don't think it's too many. It's on the way out. I don't remember it being like a really long time being in Wisconsin. Oh, now we're going away from the moon again. There we go. Give you a little more light. Oh wait, you guys can see when I smack a deer. Put your VR helmets on. I wish I could flip the camera when it's live. Then you can look right through my back window and see Paul and the RV all lit up, all badass with the LEDs. But it won't let me. Fingers. Kangaroos, holy moly. Yo, I heard them things will mess you up. Never mess with a kangaroo. You're like Mayweather Pacquiao. To get hungry. I'm thinking about breakfast soon. And you know, anywhere you go in Wisconsin, if you order anything with cheese, it's gonna be good. Somebody do the math. 10 a.m. Thursday to now. How many hours is that? Midnight 14. Oh. Well, I guess it will be 3 because we lost an hour. Losing. Huh. Yeah, this road looks creepy in the camera. It's just an illuminated road and everything else is all dark. You're waiting for like some kind of ghost to be out in the middle of the road or something. It's actually not that bad live. Y'all have to say though, that lady hooked us up. The lady at the campground there. She gave us that entire week, plus the internet access and everything, for $150. Only comes there. Like when Paul booked it, she told me, like, you realize you're going to be the only ones here? And he was like, yes. That's the only reason we were able to get the internet that we did, is because nobody else was pulling off, you know, the signal. So basically we had the internet to ourselves. And yes, it was wireless. It wasn't top notch, but at least it was something, you know. Oh, that was the 90-94 split. Okay. Here we go again. Let's join the truckers. Jenny to the rescue. Keeping the chat in line with Roni. I think I'm getting delirious, guys. Anybody waiting for a package? I can just stop this truck real quick and grab it for you. Oh, that's not nice. Truckers are just trying to make a living like everybody else. But holy, I am telling you, freaking Ohio is the capital of triple trailers. I've seen so many triple FedEx trailers being pulled by one truck in Ohio. I was amazed. They must have like distribution centers out there or something that they run those triple trailers. back here thinking he's Batman riding my ass. Simmer down there, Holyoke. All right there, Mr. Blue Lights. I think he was in a rush or something. All right, Paul, come on. Come on past. There he comes. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go, buddy. There you go. You guys want to see Paul? There he goes. That was our home for the last week. Now he'll get up here and slow down and I'll have to pass him. He took a different way up. He came up like through Nebraska and stuff like that. And it was a little bit too mountainy, especially with that freaking RV on the back. So he's running this way to get out to Chicago and then run south from there. That's the only reason we're kind of cruising together right now. Well, we did make it to Mount Rushmore. Went there on our way through this morning. Got that done. But yeah, so this week, guys, there's going to be a lot of videos. I hope you don't miss any of them. So it seems like if I ever post like multiple videos in a row or on the same day or something, like one of them gets just totally like bogged down and nobody sees it. But there should be a bunch this week. Actually, somebody was sculpting a dog turd to add Trump to Rushmore. But looks like it kind of wants to clear a little bit with the moon. Still patching. Actually, you know what? Maybe not. Looks like there's more incoming. I do have to give this credit though. I don't know what if the states came together and did this or got together and said let's make I-90 really smooth and awesome. But I-90 from, I'm not sure what it's like, you know, east of Chicago because it veers off to the north and I don't take that way. But it does go from Maine to Washington State. It's like one of the only like 5 or 6 interstates that go from coast to coast. And it is smooth ride, man. No matter what state you're in. I mean, it's just a smooth ride. And the only difference is, you know, state speed limits, but you have Illinois 75, Wisconsin 75, Minnesota's 80, South Dakota's 80, and Wyoming's 80. So, I mean, but immaculate. There's very few construction spots, and you do run into a couple here and there, but they're only improving the road. Like they're literally laying brand new concrete roadway down where there's construction spots, and they just have you veered over onto the, you know, they make one side of the road a 2-lane. And that's no big deal at all. But it's if you have to go west or east over long distance, I highly recommend I-90. Plenty of places to stop, plenty of places to see. Smooth riding. You don't have to worry about your suspension and shit getting messed up like you do, well, pretty much anywhere in Pennsylvania. Potholes the size of freaking Aristarchus. You'd have to breathe. Come through Pennsylvania. Dogfoot. I should catch up to Paul and make him turn his truck light on as we pass. Make him wave and say hi. You can all get a peek at Oz. Oz the Almighty that hides behind the curtain. He's coming out of his shell, guys. He is. We talked about it. You guys had him on the chat stream the other night for a couple minutes. But he's like so dedicated to when he's scoping. I mean, that's where he wants, you know, and he's pretty much, and he's a perfectionist, which is good, especially in what we do. You know, he doesn't like to settle for, you know, half-assed stuff. But man, we talked about all kinds of stuff we want to bring to the stream, and a lot of stuff coming up, man. Jeez. A lot of stuff in the future. Well, I can announce now, though, that we are going infrared sky cams, static sky cams. So you're going to be seeing those pretty much every night. We're not doing the moon. You're going to have infrared sky cam, whether it be from Pennsylvania or from Miami, because we're both going to have them. So that out there at Devil's Tower pretty much convinced us that we need to do it, because there's a lot of stuff really mysterious hiding in the infrared. So yeah, so instead of just our normal, 2.5 week cycle of the moon, they're going to have the other 2 weeks of, infrared sky cam. So that'll be pretty cool. I don't know if that's something y'all are into, but we're going to introduce it anyway. Oh, we considered it successful. We got out to a dark sky site. We've, recorded unidentified objects. And we couldn't really complain about the weather. So, we had one night of pure cloudiness that we couldn't do anything, and that was the last night we were there. So, all in all, awesome. Got to be on this road for another 78 miles. Oh my God, I got 3 cameras filled with stuff. Not to mention my phone with all the time lapses. A video of actually up at the tower. Shot a lot of B-roll up there for filler, for future videos. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Now I get to go home and put it all on an external hard drive. But first things first, the first thing I'm doing is going to that video with the UFOs. Grabbing it and isolating it. so I can take a closer look at it. And Paul got some awesome drone stuff. Flying the drone up there to the tower. Rony, you're there all the time. I can't believe you didn't see the UFOs the other night. I thought you were in the chat when that happened. I believe Ted was. And I think Fantasy was there as well. And it seemed like a bunch of newer people. Yeah, they were very, very interesting. Sorry, whoever just wrote that giant paragraph, but I cannot read that, being that I'm driving. My apologies. Yeah, if you want me to see something, guys, make sure it's a quick hit. I'm just glancing up the screen when I can. So, as I said, I might not see all of you, but for those that I do see, try to acknowledge you. And I thank you for joining me and keeping me company on this long, long ride. I am not submitting any of my footage to Secure Team 10. You will see our footage on Third Phase of Moon before you see it on Secure Team 10. Might ask why. Well, here's the thing. Both of them are guilty of fantasizing the whole UFO culture. But at least at this point, I can say that the cousins' brothers or the brothers' cousins or whatever they are actually trying to put out real factual information from what I've seen in the last 2 months. Where Tyler, he's still just going for clicks. Let's post about Antarctica. Let's post about this. Let's post about some crazy heat spot in the middle of the ocean that happens literally 4 times a month. But for some reason, let's make a video about it now. You know, that's why. Where on the other hand, the Blake and Bob or frickin' Frack or whatever their names are, from what I've seen, and once again, I'm not like a, viewer, but from what I've seen of them in the last couple months, and being the fact that me and Mark called them out on our stream with them right there, and they were still able and willing to have a conversation with us after that, it kind of just upped my respect for them a little bit. Because Mark laid into it. We were not very inviting per se, and I'm not sure how many of you were there for that stream when Blake and Brent were in there. But they said that they liked their stream. They said they like what they do. They say they watch all the time. That was great. But we took them to task about what they, the sensationalism of the UFO field. And even after we said our piece, they were still cool about it and they understood. And, so don't be surprised in the future where you might have, third phase, the 2 third phase guys come on with myself and Mark to hash everything out, and then because we offered them to send, especially with Mark, to send Mark their UFO footage that they're about it, and they were all about it, and we told them that they had been caught faking before, and it's provable. But all of them have a role to play. Where Tyler, he's just all about clicking. He don't care. As long as you're clicking and, you know, humming that theme song in the beginning, you're good to go. But I guess, I mean, Tyler's main part now is just getting people into ufology. You know? So I guess it is a role to play. Who knows? But if you guys want real, 100% honest UFO channels to follow that don't sensationalize and all that other crap, there's a husband and wife team called UFO Seekers on YouTube. They do amazing work. And they're not calling every little moving light in the sky a UFO, which is how it should be. All you gotta do is look them up on YouTube, UFO Seekers. And they're really, the guy's production is really professionally done. Like he could literally make that a TV show, what they do on YouTube. But it's really well done. It's not sensationalized. And it's actual real investigative work. You know, it's not just some doofus out there freaking pointing a camera in the sky. Seeing a satellite go by and then, you know, oh my God, it's aliens. So yeah, check them out. They're a really good channel. I'm pretty sure some of you have probably seen them already. And once again, if you want UFO news, to stay updated on the news side of ufology, I can recommend Nobody Prepo of UFO Planet TV. Once again, honest, factual, not sensationalized. I don't know. Maybe it'll change, you know. I thought Tyler was making a turn for the better a couple of years ago, but it just seems like he's trying to keep up his profit margin these days more than anything else. See, time will tell. Well, of course, ufology isn't. That's the thing. Like people want, like in this day and age, people want results like right then and there, like right when it happens. And if it's not happening right there, they want nothing to do. Like nobody has patience anymore. You can go out for 4 weeks in a row looking in the sky for something and not find a thing. That's real ufology. You're not going to find it, and you have to be really dedicated to do it. You know, it's real easy to start a channel and take everybody else's clips and put them together. You know, when you're not actually doing anything. As I said, Security Team in Third Phase, they're like the BuzzFeed of YouTube ufology. They just put it all together in one package. And then they give the classic line, you know, which all UFO channels do. Decide for yourself. Well, let me tell you something. Science does not let you decide for yourself. And you have to leave the stuff on the table that it might be. If it's a balloon, if it's a possibility that it was a bird, those things have to stay on the table. They cannot be dismissed just because you don't know it was one of those things. And that's where everybody gets messed up. That's why you have dumbass flat earthers believing in everything. Because they want to believe in something. It's not like, you know, let me see the proof to validate my belief. It's like, let me twist the facts to validate my belief. You know, they're always looking for something to back up their belief. It's just it can't be done that way. It go through the scientific process. Because if we don't start doing it through the scientific process, we're never going to move forward. It's going to be the same day. People see lights, they record it with a potato. Third Phase Security team put it all together in a video. Everybody believes it because why not? Nobody ever questions it. And then you wonder why, people laugh at ufologists. And, you wonder why the ufology field is so stale these days. It's the same people for the last 30 years. Name one new, fresh face in ufology. And I'm talking about like a headlining face in ufology. You can't. It's the same people. It's Linda Moulton Howe. It's Richard Hogan. It's Dolan. It was, what's his name? The guy with the weird face. I forget his name. It's like those were your top tier. Those were your Mount Rushmore of ufology. And those people are aging out. And notice that all of those people talk about stuff from the 60s. Hardly any of them are going to touch anything that's happened in the last 10 years or currently. Because there's too many possibilities of what it could be. They'd rather stick to stuff back then when CGI wasn't possible. Does that make sense? You're never going to hear Richard Dolan say, "Did you see that UFO yesterday?" It's not going to happen. You're going to hear Dolan talk about Aztec. You're going to hear Dolan talk about, the forest incident over in England. You're going to hear him talk about Area 51. You're going to hear him talk about, you're not going to hear him say, "Hey, look at this video from last week from Arkansas." No. There has to be a new rise in ufologists. And it's hard to do these days because so many people can call bullshit so fast. Because what's the first thing everybody goes to when there's a UFO video that comes out? CGI. And you know why they say that? Because 98% of the time it's CGI. That's why. Passing Paul again. And sometimes you have people doing it not even for malicious intent, just for shits and giggles. Somebody practicing their craft as a CGI person. Movie effects. Building the resume. They can go into a movie house and say, "Hey, I tricked 10 million people into thinking this was a real UFO." That holds some credential when looking for a job. Jaime Maussan has built a career off of fake. And look how many people still believe his crap. Everything from fake UFO, it's amazing. To fake mummies. Which is pretty much over now, because after this last thing, nobody's going to take him seriously anymore. We just, as ufologists, just got to get our shit straight, guys. That's pretty much what I'm telling you. We just got to get our shit straight. The whole field. We need to stop jumping to conclusions. Start jumping in to investigate. And that old school mentality investigator isn't there anymore. Those guys are old, they're getting old, they're aging out, they're retiring. How much longer do you think Linda Moulton Howe can do this? 10 years, maybe? You have Linda Moulton Howe as your, animal expert with the dissecting of the animals. You always had, Dolan as your, military expert. But who's doing the real hard investigative stuff now? For sightings that happen now, for abductions that happen now. I'm pretty sure every single one of you have heard of Travis Walton. Every single one of you have heard of Betty and Barney Hill. But who heard about Shirley 2 weeks ago that got abducted in Colorado? Because nobody cares. Because there's no younger generation of ufologists willing to go out there and talk to her and find out what her story is. It's automatically bullshit or she's crazy. Because we're in that day of age. We're in that denial age of humanity. Plus, a lot of these people see what other, abductees went through. Look at all the shit Travis Walton went through. Hell, not even abductees, just people that decide to blow the whistle. Look at Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar removed himself completely after he did all that with, what's his name out there at the TV station? Hiding in, I think, what is it? He's somewhere, I think he might be in the Dakotas, I'm not sure. Started his own and wanted to stay out of the spotlight. And finally last year came back, to do the whole disclosure thing that happened. The story has never changed. But he has regrets about coming out with it because it totally changed his life for the worse. I'm pretty sure he's good now. I'm pretty sure, he's content. But there always is going to be that aura around the name Bob Lazar. Yeah, that's right. Bob Lazar is smart. He's very smart. The guy passed a polygraph, 2 polygraphs. And it's about, it's like, what more do you want the guy to do to prove, what he's telling you is true? He did everything everybody asked, and it still wasn't enough for some people. It wasn't enough for Stanton Freeman, because, I couldn't find this paperwork here, or this or that. And then later for it to be found. You think Stanton did a retraction? No. I find inconsistencies with his school record. What? I find inconsistency with your haircut. Yeah, that's one I do believe. I believe Bob Lazar 100%. 100%. I have no doubt that Bob Lazar did what he did. And no doubt. You can tell the difference between people like Bob Lazar and what the hell's that ninny's name? Billy Meyer over in Sweden or Switzerland or whatever, making UFOs out of trash can lids. You can tell the difference in character from those. Did Bob Lazar start a cult? A Bob Lazar Center for UFO contacts? Does Bob Lazar want you to pay him $3,000 to go sit on the beach and watch Air Force flares drop over the ocean? Wink, wink, Stephen Greer. No. Just amazing. I don't know. I don't mean to go off on a rant, but hey, there was something to talk about, right? Maybe I'm just frustrated with the whole ufology field. And once again, it's not, you go into ufology, it's not something that you can expect something to happen every 2 seconds, you know. I mean, it just takes hours and hours and hours and hours, tons of